So for people who are just joining, there is free seating. You can choose where you want to sit. If you like to sit rather at the exit, old school habits in the back or in the front, as you like. Just a few seats in the front reserved. And you're seeing the QR codes. If you want to fully participate, please make sure you have downloaded the app. There will be some polls, there will be Q&A via the app, so if you want to fully participate, you need to have a mobile phone. So can we show for the last minute before we show the video one more time worldly? Again, for people who joined late, we have an AI-supported translation in 30 languages. So if you need translation, there is another QR code. Worldly, it's an AI-supported app. So you can see that you can choose from 30 languages if you can get the captions, or if you have a headphone, you can listen to the translation. So if you haven't downloaded the app, you can also go to your Play Store or iPhone shop and ask for the International Skills Forum. We are going now, before we start officially, and there will be a couple of hundred people online, so that's why we're going to start very much on time and ask you to come in early. We are going to show you a video which shows a little bit the story of the International Skills Forum. You see we have an anniversary, it's a 10th one. So a little bit for warming up, see a little bit of history. So may I request the video?
Today, a new vision for education is called for, amid far-reaching market changes in an increasingly technology-enabled world. A reimagining of skills and workforce development is critical to ensure that talent keeps pace with changing demand from employers and the aspirations of young people. Education and training are powerful levers by which policymakers can navigate disruptive changes and harness the benefits of technologies for the poor and vulnerable.
Online learning 5 to 10 years from now will be a whole quantum leap out of where we are today. It will be doing personalized learning, where learning will be personalized to everyone. Where if I'm fast, I'll be seeing one pathway to learning, and if I'm not catching on, learning will slow down for me. It will almost be as if I have a live tutor sitting next to me.
Of what constitutes education, we can see that absolutely the core elements of the who, the where, the when, the how, the what, and perhaps even the why have undergone some change.
Where we are on an ambitious journey to map, measure, and build a comprehensive index of education, innovation, and technology.
So I just wanted to check with you. Please raise your hand if you have been to an international skills forum at the ADB before. Please raise your hand. So who are people who? Anybody who stayed more than 3 skills forum? Yes, some hands. 4, 5, 6. Okay, there are some people, yeah. There is no free trip to somewhere nice if you attended all the 10. I'm sorry about that. But I saw some people who raising their hands were actually part of the organizing team, and they definitely want to go on a trip after. So thank you very much for coming. We wait for our vice president, so let's make use of the time quickly. First of all, one more time as you're all here. If you want to have translation, you can make use of the AI-supported app called Worldly. You see the QR code. You can choose from 30 languages. You can choose captions, or if you have a headphone, you can actually get a live translation. So you see that. I think most of you have already done that. If you speak well enough English, you don't probably need it. And forum language is, of course, English this time. And then secondly, if you haven't downloaded the app yet for the International Skills Forum, we would like to ask you to do that. We are going to use the app for asking questions, and we have a few polls throughout the next 3 days. So here is again, you can also find it under the word International Skills Forum on your Play Store or on your iPhone store. Okay, so we are not going to give around the mic for asking questions. You already see that people who have attended before, we are growing in numbers. And we also welcome a lot of people online who are joining us online. They can equally ask questions using also an online platform similar to the one you see. So if you have registered online, you also can watch all the videos in live stream, or as well, you can participate with asking questions if you are clicking on the respective session in that moment. Okay, so we are waiting for a moment for our Vice President to open the forum. So I just wanted to check with you, maybe just for the people online, we're going to do that also at the online poll. Who is actually coming all the way, work and live in South Asia? South Asia, please raise your hand. We want to show the diversity in the room. Yes, South Asia, you remember where you're from? Was a long flight, yeah? Okay, I see some people have to think. Who works and lives in Southeast Asia? That's ASEAN, including Timor-Leste, but not Philippines. Not Philippines. Okay, thank you. Who works in West and Central, and works and live in West and Central Asia? West and Central Asia. Yes, now people wonder, where do I live? You know, from Georgia, Armenia, the Stan countries, as we say sometimes informally, not the appropriate wording. Yes, okay, welcome. Thank you for coming all the way. Now I want to see hands from the Pacific. Pacific, long way. Yes, often recognizable because you wear beautiful clothes and flowers in the hair. Yes, thank you so much for coming, sir. And who traveled from outside the Asian region, outside the Asia-Pacific region, sorry, to be precise, from Europe, from Americas, from Argentina to United States, Canada, everywhere? Okay, so we have a lot of diversity in the room. So last but not least, who's from the Philippines and can tell you how you support the Filipino economy after the forum by going to shopping and all that? Yes, we need your help. Yeah, we have cameras everywhere, so we watch you if you're going to the shopping mall too early. Okay, so without further ado, I think we are ready to start. So ladies and gentlemen, dear excellencies, friends, colleagues, welcome to the 10th International Skills Forum, and I have the pleasure to introduce you to our Vice President for sectors and themes. Please give a warm welcome to Fatima Yasmin.
Thank you very much, Yost, for your kind introduction. Honorable Minister Don Paulier of Timor-Leste, distinguished guests, global experts from academia, public and private sectors, representatives from international organizations, my colleague of ADB, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to you all, and a warm welcome to ADB's 10th International Skills Forum. I am very happy to see nearly 700 in-person participations joining us in Manila, while more than 1,100 participants are expected to join online. We are very pleased to return to this in-person skills forum. COVID-19 compelled us to go virtual in 2021. This forum comes at a very opportune time. Post-COVID-19 era, there is an urgent need to find enduring solution from the loss of learning and training. We also need to figure out how to make education systems more resilient to future shocks. It's okay now? Yeah. This year's theme reflects our emerging priorities, supporting digital transformation in education to close the digital education gap and enhance digital skills among youth. ADB would like to see the future of education impacted by what we can call as a twin transformation, going digital and going green. The advent of generative artificial intelligence and adaptive learning is profoundly transforming education. I believe that to better position ourselves, we need to re-engineer education and training, invest more in higher order talent and skills, including digital skills, ensure that girls, women, people with disabilities, and disadvantaged youth get greater opportunity. According to a 2021 joint report by UNESCO and UNICEF, which happens to be before pandemic, that approximately 27 million Asia-Pacific children and adolescents remain illiterate. We also see how the COVID-19 significantly impacted the way education was delivered, with many schools, colleges, and universities shifting to online or remote learning modality. This, according to an ADB report, we find that students in developing Asian countries may have lost 7% of the average learning adjusted years of schools, in short, LAYS, due to closure of educational institutions caused by COVID-19. As challenging as they are, I believe we are also seeing signs of good things to come. According to 2023 Asian Development Outlook update, the economies in Asia and the Pacific are projected to grow at 4.7% in 2023 and 4.8% in 2024. In addition, based on IMF's Regional Economic Outlook for Asia and the Pacific report, the region is projected to contribute about 70% of the global growth in 2023, with investment in human capital development at the center of this long-term increase in productivity and reduction in poverty. In addition, at the United Nations Transforming Education Summit 2022, 29 countries from the Asia and Pacific region made national statements of commitment on education. Distinguished guests and the participants, ADB has been making several efforts to bolster the position as your trusted development partner in the Asia and the Pacific. ADB's new operating model, launched in July 2023, will strengthen the bank's role in leveraging its collective strength across 7 sectors, enhance its role as a solution bank. This new operating model will help crowd in private sector investments and accelerate adoption of innovation approaches. In addition, early this year, ADB's board of directors approved our participation at the International Fund Facility for Education that aims to increase education sector support through grants and loans to lower middle income countries. ADB is also gearing up to substantially increase its partnership with the Global Partnership of Education to bring additional grant resources to our partner countries. In operations, ADB aims to increase the share of annual education lending from 4.5% in 2022 to 10% of the total annual lending in 2024. Our board recently approved of the update of ADB's capital adequacy framework, considerably increases our capacity to scale up support to our member countries. ADB has also developed the Digital Education Readiness Framework as a benchmarking tool. Based on the experience from the 10 developing countries, so that it can scale up its education technology program. We also plan to strengthen the role of education and training for effective climate action through curriculum development, teacher training, and building green skills in youth people. Synergies between education and other sectors such as social protection, health, sustainable transport, and clean energy will be optimized for greater development impact. Distinguished participants, ADB as a solution bank and a financing partner actively champions partnership. Partnerships are vital for region and the world to collectively address challenges and harness potential opportunities. We have agreements and memorandum of understanding with leading universities like Peking, Stanford, Leiden, and the Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology. The joint ADB Japan Scholarship Program just celebrated its 25th anniversary, where ADB and the government of Japan are privileged to have created a large cohort of graduates in developing Asia and the Pacific from the world's leading universities. We also have partnership with global corporations such as Samsung and Microsoft, philanthropic foundation such as Education Above All Foundation, Eden Prize Foundation, Head Foundation, and international organizations such as UNICEF and ILO on knowledge and technical support to education and training. The bank is also building on its partnership with sovereign and the private sector to expand access to quality education in the region and support private education companies through direct and indirect financing. I would also like to share that ADB has established a high-level advisory group on digital technology for development in 2019. It comprises of eminent leaders from academia, global conglomerates such as Google and NSC corporations. The 8% experts group advises ADB on the use of digital technologies and their implications for ADB's development work, as well as support our enhanced digitization ambition in the region. Distinguished guests and the participants, in closing, may I request you to participate actively in the discussions and use this opportunity to establish connections and continue the dialogue. This network will take us forward in improving the quality and impact of education investment in our region. We look forward to engaging with you in various sessions and to learn from your expertise, perspectives, and knowledge. Once again, thank you indeed for joining us, and we look forward to rich discussions that lie ahead. Thank you again.
Thank you very much for your opening remarks. Fatima Yasmin, our Vice President for Sector and Teams here at the Asian Development Bank. We have one welcome message from the European Commission. So we're going to show that online. She couldn't make it physically to here, but we are very happy that she addresses the audience via a video message. So please give a warm welcome to Jutta Urpilainen, Commissioner for International Partnerships. So we're waiting for the video. Coming?
Join you for the 10th International Skills Forum. Last December, in the margins of the EU-ASEAN Summit, we celebrated the long-standing EU-ASEAN cooperation on higher education and research. In April, the EU announced a new program called SCOPE. It allows us to continue the excellent cooperation. SCOPE will help to unleash the full potential of our strategic partnership to create decent jobs. Education and skills are my priorities, and we increased funding for education and integrated it in our Global Gateway Investment Strategy. EU's Global Gateway Investment Strategy will boost sustainable investments in partner countries. It encompasses hard infrastructure, but also soft, enabling environment. And what is more enabling than education, vocational training, and research? Dear friends, on this European Year of Skills, the EU puts skills development to the center of our actions. Vocational education and training are essential to provide everyone, and especially young people, the skills they need. Future-proof skills, reskilling and upskilling are essential for sustainable growth and innovation. Skills make the green and digital twin transition a reality. Both in Europe and in Asia, we must seek solutions together with the private sector. We want to create win-win situations where companies can find skilled people and be encouraged to invest in partner countries. I wish you an inspiring skills forum. Yeah.
Thank you, Jutta Urpilainen. So now I have the pleasure to introduce you to someone who has probably somehow participated, has been involved in all 10th International Skills Forum. So it's a little bit like an anniversary for her here. So please give a warm welcome to our Principal Education Specialist at the Human and Social Development Sectors Group at the ADB, Shanti Jagannathan.
Very good morning once again. A very warm welcome to all of you to the 10th ADB International Skills Forum. Starting in 2011, with just under 100 participants, this year's forum brings together nearly 2,000 people in a hybrid mode. Over the years, we've had the privilege of hearing some of the brightest minds in education, government champions promoting reforms, successful entrepreneurs, passionate advocates, leaders in international organizations, CSOs, and representatives of youth. As the flagship event of the Education Sector Group, the Skills Forum has been the venue for discussing pressing challenges and solutions for the education sector. We have discussed many things, talent mismatches, skills shortages, skills for competitiveness, expanding secondary education, role of teachers, implications of the fourth industrial revolution, and many more. ADB and forum participants through the years have established strong connections and invaluable friendships. I'm happily welcoming today all familiar faces, but also newcomers. And I'm in particular delighted to have some people here with whom I cut my teeth in education development in international cooperation in South Asia. A very warm welcome, and let's build on this force for good in education. This year's forum addresses three main themes across the 3 days: digital transformation, climate change, and intersectoral collaborations. The core objectives of the forum are to take stock, celebrate, and chart new directions across these themes. We will have a keynote speaker addressing each of the day's themes on the 3 days. Day one will cover EdTech, generative AI, or artificial intelligence, big data, and the growing human-machine collaborations, all of which spell new directions for improving productivity. On day two, we delve into green jobs, education and training for just transition, embedding climate change into curriculum, and innovations for climate-smart education. We explore how education can support climate action and help meet ADB's ambition to raise climate financing to 100 billion by 2030. On day two, we will discuss education, on day three, we will discuss education's linkages to other sectors like the health sector, the care economy, creative industries, the rail sector, e-mobility, urban sector, smart cities, and so on. Do listen to the closing keynote on day three from the Chief Operating Officer of the Space Foundation, who talks about the connection to education and workforce development and space. We are delighted to welcome our project partners and stakeholders, for whom primarily we run this forum. From 28 countries where ADB has ongoing and planned education investments. 57 countries are represented in person in the forum this year, and a total of 74 countries are represented in the hybrid mode altogether. You heard about the first-time use of the AI-powered online translation from Yoast. You can hear it through audio, but please use headphones. But also you can read it on your mobile device. This year's forum brings 22 specially curated sessions with over 120 speakers and moderator. This time, we also, in this afternoon, you will see the spotlight on many of ADB's projects and programs across the Asia and Pacific region. As another first, we bring a storytelling session with teachers from Cambodia, Vietnam, Indonesia, and the Philippines. Some of them needed to get a passport to get to this forum. You will hear stories from them on how they have been educating students from some of the most remote locations in their respective countries, including the so-called last mile schools in the Philippines. We are so delighted to welcome teachers to this forum. This year's Innovation Marketplace brings 18 innovations, and the prime movers behind these will present their ideas in a 90-second presentation. And you will have the opportunity to visit them during the course of the forum in their designated spaces. This includes technology startups covering climate tech, agri-tech, and health tech. This is a huge array, right, of programs and speakers and sessions. Why do we do this? Nelson Mandela has said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. To acknowledge this and to act upon it on a continuing basis is really the aspiration of this forum. This forum aims to celebrate successes, but also look ahead to the challenges and redouble efforts from all of us as stakeholders to make education work for the happiness of every child, every student, and every workforce member. That should be our aspiration. Education must inspire the faith that each of us has both the power and the responsibility to effect positive change on a global scale, said Daisakikida. We want to bring the collective strength that resides in this room to make our region more educated and more prosperous, and to realize the true potential of education to help solve the complex and intertwined challenges of our societies and economies. To mark unity in diversity, we asked our participants this time to come in a traditional attire of their home country or a country in which they have been working. Can I have a show of hands of how many of you are in a traditional attire today? That is so wonderful. Thank you so much. This is really the binding force of education, and thank you so much for coming from near and from far to join us in this dialogue. And let's use the next 3 days to really deepen our discussions and also our personal friendships to make a deeper impact on education in our region. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much, Shanti, for setting the tone. So, a few words. So, first of all, my name is Joost. I'm going to be your chief navigator. I'm trying to guide you through the next 3 days. But as you heard from Shanti, I'm supported by a fantastic ADB team, as well as a lot of colleagues who are passionate about education. And we have a lot of speakers and moderators. So, you heard there is a kind of menu. Sometimes there are plenaries, and sometimes you have to choose. And we also try to make it easy for you to find what you want to see, where you want to participate. This is also possible, of course, for our online participants. So you can look in our apps. So if you have downloaded the app, you can actually see all the speaker profiles. You can connect with each other. You can even write messages to each other and say, can we meet over coffee? And a lot of different features. Most of them are self-explaining. However, the most important feature will be actually the Q&A. Once again, we are not going to run around with a microphone. You can actually engage online as well as when you're on site, and you can write questions. We encourage you not to click the anonymous function. We would like to hear who's asking the question. And you can upvote other people's questions. So if, for example, Ms. Shanti would ask a question and you like the question, you can support the question, and our moderators, it's their discretion, but they choose most of the most popular questions. So we are not focusing on the question that is not very popular. But again, the moderators have the right to moderate as they see fit. They will see the questions, and you will be able to see some of the questions online as well. But on your device, you can scroll up and down. And if you haven't done it, here's once more the QR code. If you need any help in the coffee break, please, there are a lot of people who can assist you if you miss out the first. We have a poll for you, but before I show you the poll, and we want to engage also our audience online, I think it's my 6th skills forum, Shanti, right? So, and people sometimes don't remember me, but they remember this. This is my gong. This gong is for our colleagues. I saw a lot of colleagues from Nepal here. It's from Nepal, although similar looking gongs are in the Mekong region and many other countries. This is my timekeeping instrument. We also have ushers. We have a bell outside, but this is for me to move 500 people. Okay, so when you hear this, usually something starts or something stops, okay? You hear from my accent, they asked a German to be the time manager. That usually scares people, but I will be gentle with you. Why I'm saying so much about time management? Up to 2,000 people have registered online, and because of that, we need to start on time and finish on time, so that we are not telling people online, please wait, the colleagues here need to finish their coffee. Okay, so we try to be very good in time management. So without further ado, we have a poll for you. And this poll is actually, we wanted to show again the diversity where people are joining us from, looking at the time. If you're from Europe, you are either an education addict and you get up at 2 o'clock in the night, so it might be a little bit distorted, but people will of course join throughout the afternoon. In Manila, that's morning time. So can we just show the poll? You should see something on your device. Is there a poll, please? And my colleague Jeffrey is coming. So that everybody gets comfortable with your device. And you should see actually different choices where people are joining us from. You have to go to the session, open your forum session, the opening forum session, and so we're doing all that you're all very comfortable of using your phone, and we don't have any social exclusion, so to say. It's coming up? Okay. I see Jeffrey has already the poll. Okay, and similar to what we have done with the hand sign at the beginning, where are you joining us from? There are more options. Do you see that? I see some colleagues have it, some keep. Everybody see on your phone now? You joined the opening forum session. You have to click on the session itself. Also for Q&A, if you're not clicking on the respective session, you cannot ask questions. Yeah? And if there is a result, and our colleagues online, they will also see the questionnaire. You can choose where are you joining us from, or where you work and live. Can I see the results? Maybe is it live or? Okay, so we will overcome all technical difficulties. The AI moderator is coming soon, next forum. Or I come as an avatar. Or hologram, right? Holograms we have already. I remember we had a session where we saw holograms as teachers. Okay, can I see a sign if we can see the results or not, or if everything is okay, or we do it later? Because I want to start with a keynote speaker on time who should be already, here we go. So there seem to be people who are not sleeping in Europe. In the Americas, from Argentina to United States, it's probably, or Canada, to be more precise. It's only evening, so it should be okay. So let's give it another 30 seconds, and we see changes. Dear colleagues online, please participate. Let us know where you're joining us from. Okay, so we see there is a strong bias to Southeast Asia, but we also have people from other parts of the world, even from Europe. It's the middle in the night. Africa is middle in the night. MENA region. Okay, maybe we're gonna stop for the moment. We show you the final results later. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our first keynote. Shanti has announced that. And the keynote also has a title. And I would like to, and can I see a thumbs up if our keynote speaker is online? Because he could not travel all the way. Okay, so we are going to start now with the first keynote of today. And he's actually a professor of practice at